How much money are you going to be able to earn in 2025 before you get taxed? Jedediah Collins here with the Money Vehicle Movement podcast, where we're trying to make financial literacy a little more current and possibly even a little cooler. Taxes may not be the sexiest news in the world, but when the IRS makes a move, you need to pay attention. This week, the IRS updated and released information related to tax brackets for the 2025 year. They also changed those standard deductions. Since you are speaking the language of money now and you're going to file a tax return, this information is important for you. The IRS is trying to tell you what percentage of your income will fall into which bracket and what you should expect as a tax liability next year. Remember, we title taxes as our society choice because your liability will depend on where you choose to live and some other choices you have to make. The main pieces taken out of your society choice are federal income. We choose to live in this country. State income, depending on which state you choose to live in. And FICA, a choice made because, well, too many were not paying for health care or their retirement, so it's a choice the government is making for us. All of these choices should give you some thought as to how to prepare your money buckets accordingly. For most of you, being W 2 employees, our federal income taxes are automatically withheld from our paychecks from the company we work for. If you take a look at your pay stub, you'll see that there was some withholding in a corresponding amount. If you are self employed, a 1099 contractor, gig worker, freelancer, or just somebody doing a side hustle, you need to set aside your society choice yourself. No one is there to help you navigate or prepare for your society choice. So, this is even more important for you. Also, want to point out that as entrepreneurs, you pay both the employee and the employer side of FICA, which is going to total about 15%. Believe me, something nobody tells entrepreneurs before they get started. The tax brackets remain marginal, meaning that you're taxed progressively depending on how much money you make. Remember those ice cream scoops in the money vehicle program? For 2025, the first bracket is $11,925. If you earn up to $11,925, it will be in the 10% tax bracket. What about that standard deduction? Hold on a second. Brackets between 11,296 and 48,475 are going to be in the 12% tax bracket. And if you're wondering what the highest bracket is, it's for those people who make over $626,350 as a single employee, a subset of people that's probably not including you or me for that matter. Earnings over that amount of 600,000 are going to be in the 37% tax bracket, and that's just the federal income tax bracket. One thing we want to clear up in these brackets is that you'll never make less money if your salary goes up, even if you get bumped into a higher tax bracket. The government doesn't want to dissuade you from earning more, so your earnings are taxed progressively, and that means what falls into one bracket is not affected by what falls into the next bracket. We all pay the same amount on the first dollars we make. It is only when you earn more that you are going to be taxed more on higher dollars in higher brackets. Now, we know not all your income is taxed, and we can take deductions. In 2025, the standard deduction went up to $15,000 for single taxpayers. So, how much can you earn before you are taxed in 2025? $15,000. Let's say you earned 11,000. Again, the standard deduction being 15,000 means you wouldn't owe any taxes. You may actually see a refund of a few hundred, even $1,000 or so. Of course, everyone's situation is different, and personal finance is, well, personal. Depending on how much money you make, where you live, or the different ways you create and earn money, it may be a good idea to talk with an accountant to see what the best way for you to file is. You can also ask if it is beneficial to take the standard deduction or to start itemizing, but we don't have time for all that accountant talk just today. Again, this may not be an update you were looking forward to, but we all pay into our society choice. Taxes fund our government and the many, many programs on a national scale we utilize. You may not like it, but it's part of your choice to live here in the United States. Just remember to take your society choice into consideration, especially if you're doing freelance or gig work. The last thing you want is to file your tax return, expect a refund, only to find out that you owe more money. Until next time, keep driving your money vehicle, and we will see you at the next stop.